99 FM, your inspiration station. Welcome back to the show. It's 7:30 on a Thursday morning, and you know what time it is. It's time for another Royal Hustler. Now, currently serving as the CEO of the Motor Vehicle Fund, Rosalia Martins is a Royal Hustler who needs no introduction. But we still remind you of how phenomenal she is. Now, hailing from the town of Rundu, Rosalia is a trained journalist who's been quoted to say that her number one passion was journalism. Now, Rosalia's resume is very impressive, as the name she has built for herself in the Namibian corporate space. She holds a master's degree in business leadership from the UNISA School of Business Leadership, a master's degree in culture, communication and media studies from the University of KwaZulu-Natal, and a bachelor's degree in media studies, majoring in corporate communications and sociology from the University of Namibia. She sits on the boards of the University of Namibia, Namibia's Chamber of Commerce and Industry, as well as Lesego Holdings Ltd. And this morning, she is joining us in the studio to get to know her a bit better and to chat with her and to know if she had a side hustle or not. So let's welcome Rosalia Martins-Hausiku into the studio as our Royal Hustler this morning. Good morning to you, Rosalia, and thank you so much for joining us here on 99 FM.
Morning, Teresa. Thank you for having me this morning.
It's a big pleasure. Let's kickstart things off with you telling us a bit about yourself. Where you were born and raised.
Okay, when you introduced me, you said I hail from Rundu. So basically, I was born there. I was raised there, grew up there all my life. The first time that I left Rundu was when I went for high school. That's to Tsumeb. I studied in Tsumeb for high school, secondary school. And then from there I came to Windhoek when I came for varsity. So basically that's my childhood.
That's the childhood basically.
Yes.
All right. And what was your biggest dream, as a little girl growing up? What did you dream about growing up?
Being on CNN. That was my dream. I remember, and we'll probably touch on that later. I remember I used to work in a shop because my mom used to work there. My father used to work there as well. It's just that my father used to work in Grootfontein, but the same employer. And I always used to tell my mom's boss daughter that one day I'll be sitting on CNN and I'll be reading news. And she would say, no, you won't. No, you won't. So I've always dreamt of being a journalist.
Yeah. And did you have a side hustle growing up?
I did. I was always working as young as I was. I loved having money, my own money.
Your own money,
hard worked money. So I used to work in a shop, school holidays, I'd work in a shop. And then when I came to varsity, initially I would also continue the same shop. But then I realized that I wasn't about that salary anymore. I wanted to have things higher. Yes. So I had a temp job at MultiChoice Namibia. So typically my day would be like in the mornings I'll be at school, class would start at 7:30, and then 1,500 hours I'd usually be done with my classes, and then I'd catch a taxi and then start my job at MultiChoice until 9 o'clock at night. And that's really,
your side hustle.
That was my side
hustle. That was your side hustle. Rosalia, can you tell us, having a resume that you have and having built such an amazing name for yourself, what motivates you on a daily basis?
Question is always difficult to. It's a lot of things motivate me. I must say, I have parents. Even though I was born in Rundu, my parents are from Angola, and my parents had dreams. My father wanted to be an engineer. My mom wanted to be a doctor, but because of the war situation there, they couldn't really attain that. And they raised us to be what we wanted to be. And I felt like if I can be what I want to be. It's almost like my parents would be so proud that even though they couldn't be what they were, they actually created the environment, a conducive environment. They supported my dreams. And I think that's really, really what motivated me, or still motivates me today. Just hardworking parents who never gave up, and they gave up everything for us to be.
That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. As the MBA CEO, Rosalia, what's the most fulfilling thing about your job?
So when I go to sleep at night, if I'm able to sleep, is to know that today I made a difference in the life of somebody who unfortunately had that unfortunate incident of being in a car crash. And our clients are not your usual clients. People face trauma, they are maimed, families are changed in an instant like that, and it happens on a daily basis. It's really to know that the decisions I took today will make a difference in the lives of the families left behind or those who are in hospital struggling to survive.
As the CEO, once again, the thing that what's the one thing that you do on a daily basis to improve your life as an individual?
It's not only one thing. I've got a lot. But to improve my life, firstly, it's fitness for me. It's a must. If I'm running the streets, and that's what I prefer, running the streets, although I go to the gym, I just feel it clears my mind, but also improves my entire well-being. And then the other thing that I do a lot is read. I read, whether it's leadership books, whether it's the Bible. It's just it's food for my soul. And at the same time, it's really developing my brain. So those are, I think, the two things that I can't do without. There's a lot that I do to develop myself, but those two things.
Your morning routine, what does that look like? Like when you wake up in the morning, do you first work out, have your cup of Java? What does your morning routine look like?
My mornings are lazy. I sleep quite late because my day is so packed.
Yeah, busy.
Yeah, so in the morning, really wake up. I'm not a coffee kind of person. Water, green tea, and then I'm in the office running this. But after work, that's really where all the magic starts for me. Then I'm in the gym or I'm running the streets. I get home, get the kids' dinner fixed, get the house in order, and then when everything is quiet, I just finished my third master's. I graduated 2 weeks ago.
Congratulations!
Thank you. So then studies will kick in. Because when the house is quiet, then I can read my books, I can study, do the things that I like. And I would normally sleep around midnight to 1 o'clock, and that's really why my mornings are.
It's always lazy. That's okay. You work hard in the evening and you rest in the morning. That's also great. How has your journalism background affected or influenced your work in the corporate sector right now? You are serving your second term as the MVA CEO. How would you say the organization has grown over the past years?
Okay. Two things there. So with my journalism background, I think it just helped me position the institution PR wise and also journalism wise, anticipating what the public would expect from us. And typically the conversations I'll have with my team, the corporate affairs team, is you're putting it out there. Is it factually correct? Is it ethical? So that background somehow is ingrained in me, in that whatever we put out there in the public, it must be trustworthy, it must be checked, and we must be confident in what we are putting there. But also we anticipate what a typical journalist would ask us. When we have something big going on, I think we are better prepared because we know what's on the other side. And also it helps that now I have Suri as our chief corporate affairs. So both of us have sort of been in the journal industry, and it helps out things. Being in my second term, I lost the part
in your
that.
second term, how would you say the organization has grown over the years?
It has grown tremendously. The conversations I have with myself, and I do introspection, I journal. If I have to step off today and looking back, what would I be most satisfied about? It's really the journey that we've worked. Taking over the Motor Vehicle Accident Fund is an organization that was technically bankrupt. We had a deficit of over 500,000, and today we're an institution that's boasting 1.7 billion in assets.
Whoa!
For me, that's the biggest. I think it gives me satisfaction. It's not that we have so much money. No. Firstly, it's that if we are to wind up the company today, and the courts are to say, pay your clients their dues, we are able to pay them. We are able to pay them. But the cherry on top of the cake is that I feel that this organization is now sustainable, in that it's there for Namibians. It's there to take care of Namibians for years to come, whereas in the past it was in trouble. And also because we are financially gaining that independence, and I can talk about our neighbors, Botswana. Botswana had 2 billion assets a few years ago, and I know whenever I'll speak to my staff, I'll always say, if Botswana did it, we can also
We can also do it.
Yeah,
You can also do it. I like that.
And they were 2 billion a few years ago. We're at 1.7 billion now. Botswana is at 3 billion. I think we can catch up.
Yeah, we can.
But the beauty of having so much assets, of being financially sustainable or independent, is that we are able to improve our services. When it comes to our seriously injured clients, there are not so many compared to the moderate injuries, but their needs are immense.
Yeah.
These are people who would deplete their funds right at the time when they are in ICU. Now, if our balance sheet is improving, why can't we improve those benefits? And that's why we're now embarking on legislative amendments so that we can improve those benefits. We are able to modify their homes.
Yeah.
And for me, that is the price.
That is the price.
We go in, we modify their homes so that they are able to move around in their homes. We're able to do community rehabilitation. And simply just a change in our financial situation, it allows us to do that. So we've improved our entire rehabilitation services and protocols. We are able to return people back to work. We are able to return young kids back to school. And for those who are not working, we are able to return them back to the community. And that is fulfilling to see. Those for me are really the biggest achievements. There are others. We were in an institution that were 0 rated when it came to risk, and now we are standing at a risk maturity level of 4.3. And there's just 3 areas. If we improve those areas, we'll be standing at 5, which is, I understand, is the top. It's
and
we're
almost there. We're almost there, actually.
Almost there.
Yeah.
And it's fulfilling, not only for me but for my team that works so hard and supports the vision every day.
Wow, beautiful. I think you already mentioned a couple of developments in that previous question, but what are some of some more latest developments at the MVA that the public should be aware of?
Let me make this opportunity.
Yes.
Make use of this opportunity.
Yes,
so,
do it.
The latest development, and I think the public should know, is the change in our accident response number because of current regulations. Unfortunately, we had to change this number that we've publicized, marketed so well over the years. The number has now changed. It's 0819 800. 0819 800. So that's the number to use whenever you're reporting crashes. It's important to know that number. It's important to share it with your friends, because now if you're not involved in a crash, it doesn't really matter, and you probably won't be interested in it. But just have it on your phone, because you never know when it happens. You never know when you come across a crash, and that number makes a difference. The moment you call that number straight into our call center, paramedics are dispatched, either our own paramedics or the partnership that we have with various service providers, and they can come to the aid of those who need it the most.
The number again?
0819
0819
800.
800. So 0819 800. Pretty easy number.
Yeah.
Rosalia, before we let you go, after having such a beautiful conversation with you, what are some of your hopes for the country, for Namibia?
Wow. Firstly, sorry, the number is 0819 682. Sorry.
682.
We changed it.
Okay, you changed. Okay.
Yes, I'm getting confused.
It's all right.
What are my hopes for the future? Slightly biased. Okay, it's really for the girl child.
Okay.
As we are coming up as women leaders, it's something that was not there in the past. Culturally, it wasn't there. The history of the country, it wasn't there. But I'm really hopeful that as we coming up as leaders, women leaders, that we also open doors for those who come after us. So it's my hopes for Namibia is really a Namibia where the girl child is hopeful, believes in herself, believes in her dreams, and believes that she has an equal playing field with the boy child. And I want to say equal because I think we should be very careful that as we are empowering the girl child, we don't disenfranchise the boy child. And I'm a mother of 3. I have to put an emphasis on that. Even though the scales are more tilted towards the boy child, we want to see a plain balance. Yes, a balance, so that the girl child can believe that she has an equal opportunity in leadership, be it in corporate, be it in private or public sector, but in politics as well. Yeah. But also while doing that, expressing herself, that she is free of any oppression, of any violence from the opposite gender. Those are my hopes for this country, and I believe that women are the best leaders, because the women, we don't only lead with the mind, but there's that aspect of the heart that we bring in, and it just brings in a different flavor in leadership.
Yes, wow. I actually have goosebumps right now. That last question was just a beautiful, beautiful answer. And thank you so much again, Rosalia, for making time to come chat with us and sharing your story with us, where it all began to where you are right now. Again, thank you so much, Rosalia, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. It is our Royal Hustler for this morning, joined in studio by the MBA CEO, Ms. Rosalia Martins-Hausiku. We had a really amazing chat just now, and if you missed out on the